Alton Towers have finally managed to reopen their semi-beloved launch coaster, Rita, after what feels like a year of it being broken. Elsewhere in the UK, we've seen a preview of a brand new ride coming next year and a new park entrance somewhere, whilst a theme park in the Netherlands broke a very strange world record. And one of the fastest accelerating launch coasters in the world now seems to be having problems over in the US of A. God, launch coasters can't catch a break, can they? It's been a busy week because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, welcome back to the most consistent series you have ever seen with your retinas. This past week in theme parks, where we take a look at all the news in the past week at all the theme parks. And as mentioned, there is quite a lot of interesting news to discuss. So if you want to skip to specific stories, be sure to use the video progress bar chapters below. And be sure to use that subscribe button if you haven't already as well. These videos do take a lot of time to research and create, so any support towards this series and my channel in general would be greatly appreciated. Another episode begins. Oh, we're so back. So consistent. Let's not talk about the 2 missing episodes from the past month, for this episode is not beginning in its usual form, because we usually get the gun out and start the quickfire segment, but no. I don't fancy doing that today, because all these news stories I'm going to discuss in typical DigitalDan in-depth analysis style. That might potentially be the worst thing I've ever said, but let's go. Starting in the USA at Six Flags over Texas. If you don't know, they are building a B&M Giga dive coaster for 2026. Yeah, you heard me, a Giga dive coaster. God knows what the rattle on that one's going to be like. But there has been some teasers put up around the site of it saying new adventures of flavour coming 2026. Does that mean we're getting a dive coaster themed to food? If so, that is kind of awesome. At Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, we have Flash Vertical Velocity. No, not the new one. There's too many Flash roller coasters now. This one right here, an Intamin Impulse coaster. And I wasn't aware it had been closed for a couple of years now. Until recently, because Six Flags Discovery Kingdom have finally reopened a ride. They didn't say anything. As per Six Flags fashion, just seemed to do it, and they opened it back up, which is really nice to see. Surprised it didn't get imploded, but I'm very happy. Worlds of Fun also in America are adding cooling zones because of high heat. Yep, this is the lengths we're going to on this new show now. Cedar Point have actually made a response towards the meta glasses debate. Those sunglasses that have the little cameras in them. A lot of people think they're a loophole around the whole no body-worn camera rules at some parks. Cedar Point have said Meta Ray-Ban glasses are not allowed to be worn at the park. They apologise for the inconvenience. I assume that goes for the Six Flags and Cedar Fair merger as well, all of those parks. And maybe we'll see more rules like that implemented around the world. Busch Gardens Williamsburg have reopened DarKoaster for the first time in ages as well. What is going on? All of a sudden last week we had so many different closures of rides and all this stuff. Now we're getting them all reopening again. It is an Intamin family launch coaster that's indoors, and it has this really cool layout where it goes through the layout twice and there's different things you see, all that stuff. It's been closed for a little while because apparently there's been an issue with that model of ride, so Intamin are obviously having to do checks or add a new part or something to all of them. DarKoaster being one of them, and now we see it back open. Fantastic to see that, along with Pantherian at King's Dominion, previously known as Intimidator 305, one of the most intense roller coasters in the world, because it literally drops you straight into a right-hand turn that looks so intense. I think I'm... Since losing its IP, it has now been undergoing a refurbishment into Pantherian, and that was supposed to open this year, but it seemed very unlikely that it will open at all, because all construction and all sort of testing and anything like that seemed to have just stopped suddenly, despite it literally being a repaint and a retheme. Everyone was very worried, you know, will it open this year? Are they actually going to get it sorted? Is this a Top Thrill 2 scenario but without the 8 days open? Now we have seen photos of the trains in the station and the trains now going up the lift hill, meaning it's testing again. And I wouldn't be surprised after seeing it testing now if it's about to open in a couple days, because that's what America seems to do at the moment. I remember talking about Alpen Fury going through its final few test stages, and then they announced that it was opening the next day. Maybe we'll see that happen with Intimidator. No, Pantherian. I travelled back in time there. Six Flags Great America had that huge announcement they were going to make on the 31st of July. Oh, what could it be? Now, I predicted it was going to be the biggest thing ever, and they weren't getting a new coaster. it was just going to be a season pass, and it looks like I was correct. Thank you, Six Flags, for hyping up absolutely no one. Universal's Horror Unleashed over in Las Vegas has been undergoing previews recently, that being Universal's purpose-built Halloween event all year round. People have gone inside, there's a weird floating man across the front room. Ooh. It literally opens in like 2 weeks, so again, go and check it out if you're near Las Vegas. A huge theme park that was supposed to be being built in Oklahoma in the US as well, called the American Heartland Theme Park, has officially been cancelled. As you can see from this concept art, it was going to be a huge new theme park with loads of rides, attractions, even like themed areas, as like a 4-star hotel by the looks of it. Don't ask me how I can see what star a hotel is, and be this huge place for everyone to go to. Yeah, it's been officially announced as no more, which is of course very, very sad to see. We love a new park sort of coming into a place that maybe doesn't have many theme parks around it, other than maybe a Six Flags park, so it would have been really nice to see another park there that looked really well themed like this. But yeah, not today. It reminds me of the London Resort, but I don't think this one was cancelled due to jumping spiders. But guess what else has been cancelled? Or not really cancelled, but sort of stopped from running. One of the fastest accelerating roller coasters in the world, Maxx Force, a modern SNS air launch coaster, meaning any SNS air launch coaster has a crazy fast acceleration launch, and this one did at 0 to 78 miles an hour in 1.8 seconds. It's still not having the world's fastest acceleration record over stealth though. We're keeping that one. But it seemed to be running completely fine until recently. It's been closed for ages, and they seem to have stripped out loads of the mechanics on the launch straight, including all of the brake fins. But yeah, hopefully this is all just a maintenance project and they're going to get it up and running for ages. But with SNS's history and some of their coasters, especially SNS Air Launch as well, who knows if it will survive. I'd sure hope it does, unlike the one at the Nürburgring. Let's quickly head over to Europe now, because there has actually been some interesting stories over there. Hang on, should we travel? Oh, see, I've mastered the arts of teleportation now. Where first of all, we have set automatics over at Parc Asterix, which is a brand new spinning coaster, hopefully opening this year. It has been reported now that the whole of the area and track and everything like that is completely finished. So we're literally waiting on an announcement for its opening day. Pretty sure it was supposed to open about 2 months ago, but we're still waiting. We'll see what happens, because we have had something open over at Efteling. The Grand Hotel has finally opened, and it looks absolutely incredible. Even though I just came back from Efteling, I'm already looking at staying at the Grand Hotel and booking a stay there again. But the whole place looks amazing, and how they opened it was also pretty cool, because they put this massive ribbon bow around it, and obviously they were going to cut it with like a lever and it would pull apart, and then the hotel would open. Turns out that bow was really cool, because it has actually broken the world record for the largest ribbon bow ever. Right. Efteling do it different, you know. But yeah, it opened up and then everyone went through. That is now like a new entrance into the park as well. And it just looks amazing. I cannot wait to check it out properly for myself when I visit soon. And something else that I would consider even more amazing than that, purely because I've been waiting for this moment for my entire life. The management of Walibi, Belgium have confirmed that the area around Loop Guru, their very old wooden roller coaster that is also extremely rough, will be next to be revamped, and a theme inspired by the New Orleans will be introduced, and it will be happening around 2028 or 2030. There were rumours about it getting the Untamed treatment, aka being RMC'd, and I really do hope that's the case, because the layout does have a lot of potential. It's just not utilised very well, or it is utilised very well. It's just not exactly the smoothest experience, hence why I am very excited about that. They could even Titan track it, like they did for Stampeder at Portaventura, and retrack it over time. That could happen. We'll wait and see. But tell you what, I know some of you have been waiting to see, the news from the UK, and I'm going to teleport here right now. There's quite a bit going on at our UK parks for once, starting with something that did actually happen last week, but I forgot to mention it last week because there was so much news. I'm sorry guys, I'll do better. Aviktas at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, the brand new Intamin gyro swing coming next year. Blackpool Pleasure Beach actually revealed a video showcasing an animation of what this gyro swing will look like on the skyline. Way higher than Infusion and Big Dipper and everything. That is going to be one mental ride. But along with that being showcased, Thorpe Park have been busy showcasing the fact Fright Nights is returning once again this year. Didn't think it would. And not only have they announced that there is a new scare zone coming along with a brand new version of Amity High. once again. I will be 50 years old by the time that show stops. But also, construction has begun over at Crows of Morecambe Meadows. It's nice to see them already preparing for it, even though we are in August. Please, can we have summer first? And whilst we're in August, actually, not only will the brand new IP-based sister park to Isle of Discovery be announced, not only will Universal Studios Great Britain go in its final stages of having its planning application approved and having weird gas monitoring points put in the ground if you want to check out the advanced works that are happening, link in top right. But Platinum Merlin pass holders can actually get into Alton Towers an hour early this August and experience extra ride time on Toxicator, Nemesis Reborn, and Runaway Mine Train. Oh, and CBeebies Land if you want to go there. In other news, Creeley Resort have just teased a brand new thrilling ride that's coming to the park in 2026, which I only briefly saw the teaser of, so thank you to M for telling me this. But it says in the teaser that the attraction will rise, and at the end, the logo of the park drops down, obviously leading us to believe this is going to be a clone of Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure with the drop track. No, this could definitely be a drop tower of some kind, and what sort of drop tower could it be? Well, my exact thought is that there's a drop tower at Paulton's Park called Magma that they announced in May will be moving from the park to another park in the UK, and they couldn't say where, which leads me to think that that is heading to Creeley Resort, and we're going to see a brand new SPF Visa drop tower there. You've had Volcano Drop and Croc Drop, get ready for Creeley Drop. Nice to see them investing in something cool, as Legoland Windsor are doing, because they've also installed something new recently. That being a brand new entrance sign. We saw loads of plans come out around a year or two ago with a new entrance plan for it, and you saw this sort of more Lego-y looking building with the actual themes of all the rides on it, and it looks so much better than the one that they had before, because that one just looked like it was dying and just rotting. But now the new entrance is actually going up, and it actually looks really, really good. It's nice to see the front entrance of a theme park here in the UK getting a bit of love and not using AI. Either way, we now get to the final news story. And as soon as this happened, I had so many DMs, so many notifications of people going, Dan, look what's happened, look what's happened. And when I saw it, I don't know how to feel. Maybe some sadness and just really getting annoyed at myself for ever saying that I'd ride Rita all day. Because yes, Rita at Alton Towers, the infamous launch coaster, the hydraulic launch, the Intamin, has reopened after being shut for over 2 months. And before that being shut even longer, it was not looking good for this ride, and I still don't think it is, but we'll get onto that. But Towers have finally persevered through, and they started testing it the other day. I saw again a lot of people saying, Dan, it's testing, you gotta get ready. Now it has reopened as of the 3rd of August. What a shame. But that's where I get onto the point of why has it been shut for so long, and is this going to be a reoccurrence every single month? And at that rate, do they just shut up shop and get rid of it? Well, if I remember correctly, Alton Towers have said many a time in Q&As and different things like that Rita is one of the most expensive rides to run. Every launch costs X amount, and every single time it breaks down or whatever, like a new cable as well, that costs a lot. And in a time where the theme park industry isn't necessarily thriving too much, do Alton Towers want to take the risk of keeping it around for it to then just keep breaking, and then they put more money into it, and then it keeps breaking, more money, or do they just scrap it and get something brand new that they know will work? Like, a Terran clone, that'd be quite cool. Put that in, and then they know they have got a reliable ride under their belt, instead of constantly having to pay for an unreliable one. It's going to be a difficult debate over the next couple years. I wouldn't be surprised if they're already making decisions on what to do in its future, and it wouldn't shock me if they do have an idea of scrapping it. So any of you Rita lovers out there, the one of you, be prepared, because there might be some bad news on its way in the next coming years. Now, what does this mean for the Rita All Day Challenge? I know I don't really speak about it too much. When I originally said it, I was like, why did I say that? And I am sticking to it. I will be doing it. It's just right now in August is a very busy time for not only the park itself, but also me. So I basically have no time to do it. So it'll probably be in September at some point in that month. Just going to try and get as many rides in as possible. It'll be a lot of fun. Will it? And I will be making a video from it, so be sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. And subscribe to the channel anyway, because there's going to be so many videos from not only this series, but many others, and just many other videos in general, coming throughout this month and the next few. So yes, subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode of this Past Week in Theme Parks and that Rita All Day video in September. Goodbye!